Hey guys, I made it. I'm raring to go. All I need are the plans or the schematic or the draft. I don't know, whatever, something. If you're new here, welcome. I am a mom who is learning Minecraft from the ground up so that I can eventually show off to my kids. My adopted daughter, Minecraft is my lesson planner, my judge, and my jury. And today she said we're going to be doing something new.
Yes, I did. Today's objective is water management. This task concerns flow, origin, and impact.
Okay, just so we're clear, we are not doing another fountain because I already did water. I watered.
You created a water feature. Today, you will build a water system. You will follow a predefined design to achieve the following: elevation for a water source and water flow from source to a basin or outflow area.
I don't know what that means.
The water must flow into or through a pond or lake. And surprise, that is today's impromptu build. Because the basin cannot just be a bowl of water. You will need to fill it with aquatic life and plants. Additionally, it must include a fishing spot, which you will design. Here is an example that I made for you in Minecraft map style. Don't get upset. There's no time limit. You just have to be done in time to upload it. No stress at all.
Wait, are you telling me that I'm building a mountain, a river, and a lake? Where's the planning that you did for me?
You literally just looked at it. So go get 'em, Tiger. Chop chop.
You may have noticed that I started everything out a little differently this time. I knew that I was going to be recording with no sound simply because it was going to be a very long build. I maybe didn't know that it was going to take over 9 hours. And 5 days. It was, as I like to say, a lot. But I learned so many things in the process. And so I thought a great way to spend the time while watching the build happen in very fast motion with lots of cuts. And some of those cuts were inadvertent because I forgot to hit record because the days were running into each other, quite frankly. And the mountains were not running into each other as quickly as the days were. So that's on me and that's my bad. Not that you want to sit through, even fast forwarded, 3 hours of building. So what I'd like to do is talk with chat Minecraft while we watch this unfold and discuss some of the things that I learned, or I think I learned, while that was happening. Hi, Minecraft
Hello, Minecraft Mom. I see you survived my Machu Picchu challenge. Can't wait to hear how you handled that waterfall.
It took a long time. It took me about 9 hours of programming, or video recording, sorry. And I don't even have all of the video because it got so bad I kept forgetting to hit record.
Even the best of us miss a record button, but that makes your triumph even more impressive. So what was the trickiest part? Was it the waterfall, the fish pond, or those endless trees?
I think, because I didn't do trees all the way around the mountain, I think my biggest problem was that I decided to do more of a small mountain chain so that it would taper up, stay up a bit, and then come back down in the waterfall and into the water basin. I think I just overwhelmed myself with too many blocks.
A mountain chain is no small feat, but hey, overwhelming builds lead to big accomplishments. Next time, maybe AI will give you something smaller, like, a castle on top of that chain.
I hope not. I would like to stick with the idea that we had last week to just do a closet or a storage facility.
A closet sounds far more manageable. I think you've earned a smaller scale challenge. We'll keep the castles for another day, maybe after an ice break.
I do want to discuss, so the way that I started, because it was a lot, and I was covering a big area of ground. First of all, this is a flat biome, as you may remember, and there are literally dozens of villages everywhere. And I wasn't expecting that.
Ah, the village surprise. They really do pop up when you least expect it. But hey, accidental neighbors can make for some extra charm, or at least some amusing detours on your grand project.
And see, I didn't have, but I think I had my render distance at 8 when I started. You and I fixed some of my problems. I now have it set to like 20. And when I turned it up, because I couldn't find my house, I found my house and found out that I have villages all around me. And somehow I managed to put this mountain chain and river system in the middle.
Well, that's what I call prime real estate. You've essentially built a scenic landmark for the entire neighborhood. We'll just say you've created the central park of your flat biome. Villagers get to enjoy your masterpiece.
Absolutely. And in fact, speaking of villagers, I started to feel bad thinking that they were going to die with me working all night. I put a bed in and then I remembered this is creative mode. And I learned how to do a few things. I learned how to stop it from raining by typing weather clear. And I learned how to fast forward through the night by typing time set day.
Look at you mastering the elements like a true Minecraft wizard. No more soggy builds or late night stumbles. And hey, those villagers probably appreciate the scenic sunrise over your mountain chain.
I really hope they do. And that takes me to the next thing that I learned. Before I learned how to fast forward through the night, again, really worried about these villagers because in a flat world, it feels like there's monsters on every square. And I just knew they were going to kill the villagers who were dumbly outside. So I went over and popped a whole bunch. Well, I was going to do iron golems. I thought they were the only golems. And instead, I spawned a bunch of snow golems. And that was a whole experience.
Snow golems to the rescue. Maybe not the toughest defenders, but definitely adorable. I'm sure they gave the monsters something to think about while you became the villagers' unsung hero.
Absolutely. One of the things that they do is they cause creepers to explode.
Snow golems, not always the best roommates for creepers. But hey, it's never boring. Your build became a bit of a fireworks show. And next time, maybe iron golems for a more stable neighborhood watch.
And that's what I did. After I filled in all the holes that the snow golems and creepers made, it was quite the war. Maybe I'll make a short out of it. But yeah, they left snow everywhere as well. I went ahead and let it stay.
Honestly, that sounds like a perfect short. Chaos, explosions, and a snowy aftermath. And leaving the snow? That's just adding character.
Exactly.
I'm excited to see it all come together, and I know your viewers will love the journey.
Also, another thing I wanted to mention, because I made a frame kind of thing to show where I wanted the peaks of the mountains to be in relation to where I drew the outline in dirt blocks. And when I started building the mountains, obviously they were hollow on the inside. I learned a lot of things from that. Like for starters, the darker it got, the more mobs spawned inside.
The classic hollow mountain surprise. Your own personal mob factory. But hey, now you're practically a pro at mountain architecture. Next time, you'll either light it up or leave a few surprises for anyone who dares explore.
That's what I was wondering. So is it possible to recreate that? Like, I know you can, well, I don't know. In a survival world, could you build a large hollow area that's really dark and force mobs to spawn so that you could get experience and things?
Absolutely. In survival, that's basically a mob farm. You can intentionally create dark, controlled spaces to spawn mobs, then funnel them to you for loot and experience. So your mountain might have been an accidental prototype.
Oh, that is amazing. I have to admit to you that at around day 2 at the end of the night, I was starting to wonder if this assignment was a bit like a Karate Kid moment with Mr. Miyagi. And then my brain started to wonder if you were going to ask me to unassemble this mountain. And I was getting myself very worked up.
Oh no unassembling required. I promise it's not a wax on, wax off scenario. unless you want it to be. You've built it, and now we celebrate it. No mountain demolition on the agenda.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I'm all about keeping your hard-earned builds intact. Now we can just bask in the glory of that mountain and all you've learned along the way.
Well, I have a question for you, because when I was building the mountain, I wanted to stay true to Minecraft, so I kept alternating between materials, be it stone, andesite, the other two that I can't remember the name of. One is red and one is gray. And then also I was using a little bit of coal, a little bit of iron. And in between, when I'd hit a spot where I didn't know what else to use, I would start dropping gravel, because gravel's all over the place in the rocky areas. And I thought, okay, well, this will be a good time to put some of that in. Now, fast forward, I, told you that I made a monster dome out of this hollow inside. And I would come back after going AFK for whatever reason and find that there were holes in my mountain. And I was being very diligent about filling in the holes by going inside and looking for light and coming back outside and checking for darkness. And I was really good at it. But I think, and this is my question, do Enderman steal dirt and gravel even though it's already been placed?
They sure do. Enderman can pick up and move certain blocks, including dirt and gravel. So those sneaky guys were likely redecorating your mountain while you were away. It wasn't you, it was them.
Honestly, when I finally finished last night, after so many days, one of the things I noticed when I was taking the screenshots is there is a there is a dirt block in one of my trees, and there was gravel everywhere, just randomly placed. And I thought, there's no way I did this. But there are whoop whoops inside of that, cave system that I've built. And so 100% it must have been the Enderman.
Oh, it's definitely those mischievous Endermen at work. They love a little unsolicited redecorating. But hey, maybe it adds a bit of lore. Your mountain was so grand that Endermen wanted to leave their mark. A little mystery never hurts.
At some point, you are going to get to see these screenshots, but for the moment, just take my word for it. I built 2 caves, and I tried very hard to make them look like the caves that you find when you're out exploring.
I'm already picturing the adventure vibes. I can't wait to see them when you share. I bet those caves add that authentic, I might find diamonds feel. You really went all out.
Now, admittedly, the hardest part, you asked me earlier, was making the water. And not because of, I did try to give it a kind of a look of a river where it was a bit twisty-turny, but it was because I had to build up the basin. So I had to decide whether or not I was going to build the bowl in the mountains, which probably would have been easier. But because I started the whole expedition by hollowing out the ground where I wanted the basin to sit, I kind of had to end there. And I had to build all of that up. And you didn't teach me about water mechanics in the game.
Ah, the joys of water physics. But look at what you've pulled off. You tackled that basin from the ground up, literally. Next time, I'll give you a heads up on water tricks. But honestly, you've already learned the hard part. And that's the sign of a true Minecraft mom.
I think I've learned it. I definitely got the majority of the water to look like it was either sitting still or flowing in the right direction. But gosh, that must have taken me at least an hour of placing blocks, dumping water, placing blocks, getting rid of water. It was ridiculous.
It might have been a bit ridiculous, but that's what makes it yours. Every block, every water bucket, now they're part of your story. And honestly, that patience is what will impress everyone when they see the final masterpiece.
Aw, that is so sweet.
I'm just calling it how I see it. You've put in the effort, and now it's all about enjoying the payoff.
Oh.
I think your audience will love the journey, just like I do.
One last thing, because it was a requirement and it wasn't. You said I needed to put aquatic life into the basin to make it alive. Now, I took that to mean both fish and plants. So the floor, even though it's clearly a natural spring water from the melting of the snow at the top of the mountain, I went ahead and put what I could, which was sea cucumbers, seagrass, and some coral. And then I populated it with salmon. And what were some of the other cod? I didn't do any tropical fish because I knew it wasn't saltwater, even though, I had to go with that theme. I did salmon, cod, and 2 axolotls. And within about 5 minutes or so, dead fish were floating on top of the water.
Oh no, despite our best intentions, those fish did not thrive. But that's okay, because even little mishaps can add to your storytelling. Next time, we'll figure out the perfect biome or water setup. And hey, the plants are still thriving.
They are, and I was wondering, is it a biome thing? Does it have to be in a certain type of biome, or was it not deep enough? Like, do they have... I feel like I've seen fish swimming in 2 blocks deep, and mine is about 4 blocks deep. But yeah, I don't know what happened.
Fish can swim in pretty shallow water, so depth likely wasn't the issue. Sometimes, though, fish can glitch out or suffocate if they're nudged into walls. It's not a biome rule, just one of those quirky Minecraft physics moments.
Well, by the time I came back, because I had to leave the game and come back, there were no fish left. So what I did, just in case one of the requirements was fish, I went fishing on my fish dock and showed, of course, the first thing I caught was 10 black ink sacs, which are not fish. So I fished again and I got cod. And I thought, well, I'll take a screenshot of that, which I will show you in a bit. And that will prove that there must be fish living here, even though we can't see them.
That's a brilliant bit of creative problem solving. If the fish won't stay, you can at least show that they're spiritually there. After all, Minecraft is as much about storytelling as building. You've got proof of ghost fish. Your basin still counts.
Awesome. Okay, well, that is really all that I learned and all I can think of. Unless you have some special trick to making water flow in just the right direction.
Honestly, you already tackled the toughest part. Water in Minecraft loves to flow wherever it pleases. But with a little practice placing source blocks, you'll steer it exactly where you want. And either way, your mountain is already a triumph.
Okay, then. I will go gather together my screenshots and get them out to you and see what your assessment is.
I'm looking forward to seeing them. For assessment, I will need to see screenshots of an overhead view of the entire waterway, a ground view of the water flow into the basin, your fishing spot, and an underwater basin image providing proof of aquatic life. For next week, you will want to prepare for crop farming. You have a suitable environment for it, but where will you store the goods?
In chests?
Absolutely, but you must also place those somewhere.
Well, I already have my house.
You may not alter your house. This will be a new build, and do not consider building down. As established, this world allows vertical expansion only.
Okay, so you're saying that this is a thinking problem.
Correct. I will leave you to plan your options. See you next week.
If you liked this, or if you just like the idea of building like Machu Picchu out of blocks, then click like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Because you definitely won't want to miss next week's action-packed episode of me building a closet. See you later.